everyone! Today, we're going to talk about a character who may not be the loudest or flashiest in Jujutsu Kaisen, but whose quiet strength leaves a lasting impression. While his calm demeanor and serious expression might make him seem distant at first, the truth is far more inspiring. And as we tell his story, you'll see a sketch of Kento Nanami slowly drawn on screen, an image that mirrors the steady, deliberate way he lived his life. Kento Nanami is a man defined by responsibility. Unlike some characters who jump into action with fiery passion, Nanami approaches life with patience, thoughtfulness, and precision. He's the kind of person who weighs every step carefully, never rushing, never wasting a single movement. At first glance, he seems almost too serious, someone who has little interest in jokes or games, but that very seriousness hides a sense of humanity that makes him unforgettable. Nanami wasn't born into the same kind of grand legacy as characters like Gojo or Maki. His story begins in a much more ordinary way. He was simply a young man trying to find his place in the world. Like many others, he faced choices. Should he follow the path of a sorcerer, or should he live a quieter, simpler life? For a time, Nanami even tried stepping away from the world of Jujutsu. He worked in ordinary jobs, blending into the flow of society, but something about that life didn't fit. His heart, and perhaps his sense of duty, kept pulling him back. Nanami eventually returned to Jujutsu High not as a student this time, but as a fully realized sorcerer. He wasn't the kind of man who bragged about his abilities. Instead, he focused on efficiency and results. Every movement of his blade, every decision he made in battle was purposeful. He saw sorcery not as a glamorous calling, but as a job, a duty he had to perform, with professionalism and care. That perspective made him stand apart from many others in the Jujutsu world. Nanami's personality is one of his most fascinating traits. He's calm, polite, and measured. Rarely does he raise his voice. Rarely does he lose control. But behind that calmness lies an iron will. He carries himself like a mentor, someone who doesn't just fight but also guides those around him. His serious nature sometimes makes him seem distant, yet his actions always reveal how deeply he cares. Nanami represents a kind of adult maturity rarely seen in anime. He's not driven by recklessness, but by duty, balance, and quiet strength. One of Nanami's most important roles is as a mentor. When younger sorcerers like Yuji Itadori needed guidance, Nanami was there not with flashy speeches, but with grounded advice and steady support. He believed in teaching not just techniques, but discipline. He wanted the younger generation to understand that being a sorcerer wasn't about fame or glory, it was about responsibility. This mentorship made him more than just a fighter, it made him a role model. Nanami's fighting style reflects who he island. It's efficient, precise, and calculated. He doesn't waste energy on unnecessary movements. Every strike is deliberate, every decision made with a clear purpose. His philosophy in battle mirrors his philosophy in life. Stay calm, stay focused, and never let emotions cloud your judgment. Yet, even with that professionalism, Nanami never lost his humanity. He always remembered why he fought not for glory, but to protect others. Nanami is often seen in his neat suit and tie, a look that symbolizes his professional outlook. But that suit also hides the warmth beneath the surface. While he may seem distant, Nanami deeply values connection. He doesn't always show it with words, but through his actions standing by his allies, supporting his students, and protecting those who can't protect themselves. This contrasts the strict formal exterior and the caring interior makes him one of the most beloved figures in the series. For Nanami, being a sorcerer was never about being a hero, it was about duty. He understood better than most the risks, the sacrifices, and the toll it took. Yet he chose to bear that weight, day after day, without complaint. That quiet acceptance of responsibility is what makes him so admirable. He didn't need recognition, he didn't need applause, he simply did what had to be done. Nanami may not always be at the center of the stage, but his presence is like a steady foundation. For the younger sorcerers, he is a guiding figure. For his colleagues, he is a reliable ally. For his enemies, he is someone who can never be underestimated. His story reminds us that strength isn't only about raw power, it's about reliability, patience, and the ability to shoulder responsibility when others cannot. And so, this is the story of Kento Nanami, the calm mentor, the steady fighter, the man who carried responsibility with quiet dignity. As you've listened, you've seen a sketch of Nanami slowly drawn on screen. That image, with its sharp lines and calm expression, perfectly reflects who he is: steady, unshakable, and deeply human. Thank you for joining me on this journey.